Good morning. How is everybody this morning? It's a beautiful day. It's raining, so it's normal. It's a normal spring day. And how do I do this? It was perfect. Maybe I moved. Is that what happened? Did I? Is that? I think I wiggle and squiggle while the music's playing, and our my camera is looking fuzzy. That's odd. Okay, clean it. Let me clean it up a little bit. Maybe my fingerprints on it. Oh, much better. So good morning. We're doing a spring look this morning, and you're really gonna love it because it's just gonna okay, see how washed out I look. This is the typical Northwest look. Just kind of um all one color, monochromatic. So I'm trying to brighten it up with a little bit of peach coral color in my shirt. I've got my pretty pink earrings on. And so we just want to bring some features out. We're not trying to look Miss Glam Jam today. We just want to bring some features out because the colors are popping up. The daffodils are popping up. The crocus are already up. Oh, those little hyacinths are coming up. So we want to just bring out a little bit of color. We want to help spring along. Okay. So what I have on so far, I did wash my face. I put all my moisturizers on. I put my boosters on. I did put some concealers on. All right. I did put my light concealer on up in here. I put a darker concealer on my lid. I put some concealers right in here. I put my regular concealer on, and then I put my under eye concealer on. And then we're going to be working on this next week. I did my 30-second facelift with my concealer. So if you're interested in getting a 30-second facelift, I will be doing a 30-second facelift with concealers next week. Okay. And then on top of that, I have one layer of the CC cream in medium to deep. And then I have in this area right here in the middle area, I have a matte um, foundation. Okay. I have 180 what is it, 180 bronze, 180, shoot, what is it, warm 180 in the middle layer, and that's a matte, and that is to absorb the oils, okay, and into the T-zone up here. And then on the outer area, because I tend to get a little bit drier in my cheeks, in the outer area, I have the C220 because that's a little bit darker, and that also will keep me moisturized during the day. That also, because I'm so monochromatic, that gives me a little bit of definition in my face. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add some eyebrows because that alone gives a little definition. So again, what are we doing? We're trying to give a little bit of a spring look and not be so monochromatic. All right. Now, do put your comments in the chat. What happens is I am streaming into several different groups at one time. That's why I choose the StreamYard. So sometimes I don't see your comments because of the way the streaming goes. But do put your comments in. And if you're watching this on hashtag replay, do put your comments in there also because I will come back and I will answer everybody's comments. All right. So again, I am Senior Sales Director Susie Borg, and I am out in Fircrest, Washington, which is near the Seattle-Tacoma area. A lot of people ask, where is that Fircrest, Washington? Okay, so I'm going to use my eyebrow. And as you notice, this is one that you sharpen. You need a sharp one if you're using the mechanical. You can sharpen the mechanical too. It is in your cap. All right. Now with eyebrows this year, let me get my mirror really, really close so I can see. And so you can see they're not as thick. And I'm just going to do little teeny lines as if I'm drawing little hairs. Can you see that? Let me get closer. They're just little teeny hairs that you're going to be drawing in. It is not as thick. It is not as precise. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not as precise as the brows that we have been wearing the last couple of years. No more Angry Bird brows, okay? You're just going to do a little bit softer. You still want to keep a pretty good shape to them, but just not as defined as we have had in the last couple of years. They're just going to be a little bit softer. That is the trend of the spring 2002. Who makes up these trends? I have no idea, but they get going. And again, see, I'm just doing little itty bitty hairs and doing individual hairs with that pencil. Then I'm going to go down Do little bitty hairs over here. And remember, guys, on your eyebrows, they are not sisters. They are not twins. They are cousins. They do not match. They will not match no matter what you do because your face is not symmetrical. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit off there. Then I'm going to go with my brush on top and just take that and even them out just a little bit. And this just has leftover concealer on it, so I'm not adding, and again, because when you add that really sharpness to it, that's just taking you back. This is 2002, spring 2002. Everything is just dulling the edges a teeny bit. Okay, see how much that just adds, enhances? That's what we're going for, an enhanced look. All righty? Okay, next we're going to find an angle brush that you have. Okay, and I can see right now I need to wipe my angle brush off because I was playing around with this and I had so many compliments. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I had so many people stop me and say, "Oh, your eyes are so pretty." I'm like, "Oh, I chose the right look." Okay, so the next thing that you are going to put on, and I have to check and see what color this is. Isn't that horrible? Rose gold. So choose your rose gold. Isn't that pretty? See how sparkly and pretty that is? And it's a very light color, but it's just so pretty. Okay, so you're going to get a little rose gold on your angle brush. And I do have eye primer on too. I have eye primer on top of the concealer. And with this one, see how this is the angle? And I go with the angle just up like that. Okay, it's just telling me rain is expected. Surprise, surprise, it's spring. Okay, I'm going to take that, I'm going to set it with the edge of the brush down on that crease, and I'm just going to take that beautiful rose gold and I'm going to swipe it right across, right above into that fleshy area. So above the crease, not on the lid. We're going to do a lot of layering today. Okay. Again, I'm going to take that rose gold, set that brush right above the crease and bring it right across. There we go. So in this area, I do have a light concealer. On the lid, I have a concealer that's just a shade or two darker. So I'm bringing that all the way across. I'm also going to bring it, again, above the lid, right into that crease there. Above the lid, right into the crease. Can you see that right there? And bringing that across. Okay, see, even that, you could go just with that. And look at how you can see the color of my eyes now. It brings out the color of that eye. Okay? Now, the next colors that we are going to be using. Now, a lot of you have these and several of you do not. I still have plenty, and I know a lot of the consultants still do too. We're going to be working with the pink palettes. So I'm going to be working with the warm pinks, but you can choose, because I have the coral on, but you can either choose the warm pinks or the cool pinks. All right. So the next one that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be using the, do you have a brush like that? And what are they actually called? I never can remember. The eye smudger brush, the one that has the really tight encapsulated bristles, okay? And we are going to take this beautiful color. It's the second one over. Let me get my pointer on it. The second one over. So if you are using the cool colors, you're going to use the second one over. And I'm going to get that. So you are going to be doing this on top of the rose gold. So the second color over. So right now you are doing glimmer on glimmer, but don't worry about that because I know I've taught you, you never use glimmer on glimmer. We are going to go back with a matte. Okay. So I am going to go right in the middle of that. This is very concentrated. It's very, the other, we spread out all over. This is going to go right in the middle to put an intensity. So I'm going to put it right in the middle. Again, I'm going to get it down into that crease and put it right into the middle. And I'm just tapping it in. Okay, going to go on the other side with that. And right on top of that bone, right up there. Okay. There we go. But got it a little too low over there, right on top of that bone. That one's a little too low. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Then we're going to get our big fluffy brush. And with your big fluffy brush, you are going to swirl that outward and upward. And we get a different one. Okay, big fluffy brush, and you're going to take and you're going to swirl that outward and upward. And see how those blend together so nicely, outward and upward. So you have the rose gold underneath, and then you have that second, the number 2 in your pinks, either cool or warm, right in the middle. Okay, and you could stop right there also. It could just be done, but we're not done. Then we're going to go ahead and take your crease brush again. Okay, I do have a washcloth here. I'm just going to wipe it off on. Okay, then I'm going to go into, and this is Cinnabar right here, Cinnabar. And that's a nice matte color. I'm going to go into the Cinnabar, and I'm going to go right into the corner here, and I'm going to put a little teeny V. So that is where you get your matte. So you're breaking that up. And I'm bringing that right in there, and then I'm going to fluff it up. Fluff it right up. Okay, when you do that, see the difference in that side? That's a nice light, but there's not a lot of definition. When you bring that Cinnabar into it, I need just a teeny bit more, I see. Right there. Tapping it right in. See how that just gives it a little bit more dimension. Then I'm going to take that fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend it one more time. And I've dropped a little out here, so I'm going to take a brush and take that off. And see how that does? It just gives it a little more dimension. See how this eye now just looks a little more sultry and beautiful. And this eye, it just kind of looks like it looks like a feathery splotch, and that's okay. Whatever you are going for is fine. Okay, now you're going to get your angle brush out again. Or actually, let's use your all-over brush. Let's do your all-over brush. That's a good one. Take your all-over brush. Make sure it's clean. Okay. This time, you're going to go into that lightest color. Okay? So whichever light color you're using, I'm using the warm palette. And I'm going to take that lightest color, and I'm going to go right across my lid, just to the middle, just to meet up with that darker matte color. Okay, see how that pops that out? All right. Then I'm going to take, again, my angle brush, wipe it off. And I'm going to take just a teeny tiny sparkle from my highlighter, and I'm going to put it right up here. Now you could use many different things, just a teeny tiny up in there. You could use crystalline. You could use any of our lighter colors to highlight that. You could even use the glazed. Okay, you could use that up there. In fact, I'm going to use the glazed, and I'm going to take that right here in the middle. Okay, now I'm looking at that, and I still want it just a little flatter. So I'm going to go ahead and take this brush here, and I'm going to take the latte from our contour, and I'm going to put just a teeny bit right into the crease here. Yes, that's better. Oh, much better. See how that really defined that eye. Okay, now I know that was a lot of steps, but it's still a very, very pretty eye. Okay, so then I'm going to put a little, here's my liner. There it is. Little liner on. And I'm just putting little teeny tiny strokes. I do like the liquid liner, the liquid gel liner, and I'm going to do it on the bottom. On the bottom, I'm just doing it on the outside edge. You can do it all the way across if you want to. I have a very small eye, and so what it does when I do it all the way across, it tends to close it off, and I want to open up that eye. Okay, so I've got a little liner on. Then I'm going to take a little bit with, again, that smudger brush. I'm going to take a little bit of this number 2, the number 2 with a little bit of sparkle to it, and I'm going to put that on the outside of underneath my eye. Just a teeny bit, just on the edge out here, just to give it a little color, a little depth. Okay. Then I'm going to take my brush. This is my cheek brush. And I'm going to take my cheek brush. And again, I am going to use the same color. So if you're using the cools, go ahead and stay with the cools. If you're using the warms, stay with the warms. And I am going to take these outer 2. Okay. And I'm just going to take the outer 2, blend them together. And that is what I'm going to use for my cheeks. Okay. I'm going to tap it off on the back of my hand so I don't have too much cheek. And I'm going to just take a little cheek. Might as well do both sides on that one while I'm here. Then I'll go back and do that other eye for you. So I'm staying in the same color palette. Okay, then I'm going to soften that a bit with just a big fluffy brush. Then I go back with my highlighter and put a little bit of highlighter just on the cheeks. I'm not using the pretty sparkle ones because I have a lot of sparkle on my lids. I'm just using the glaze, and just up on top of the cheek, like we were talking last week, just pop it on the very top of the cheek. Then I'm going to go in and get that latte contour, and you may be using cocoa, and I'm going to bring that contour right down in here. A little bit down there, a little bit down there. Okay, then I'm going to bring a little bit of, again, of that glazed right along my nose, and a little bit of the latte, your contour color, on the outside of my nose. And then I'm going to bring what's left over with my foundation, and I'm going to blend that right along here. Okay. Then I have, this is medium nude on the lips. Okay. Are you guys following along? I have no comments this morning. You guys are very quiet, at least none that are coming in. I'll go and check that later. And I'm going to put medium nude. And then I'm just going to put a little Fancy Nancy on the top. No, I'm not. I had out this one. What color is this? This is our new one. That's right. I had this out. These are so teeny. My gosh. Can I even see it? My light is so bad today. Better than Bare. Okay, this is Better Than Bare with medium nude. These are so slick and moisturizing. They're almost between a lip balm and a lipstick. So that is the Better Than Bare. And Fancy Nancy just in the middle for a little pout. I don't want too much of the Fancy Nancy because of my lid. Okay, then I'm going to put a little mascara on. And then I will go back and do that other side if you can still stay. Okay, so you can watch it again. And that is our spring look. So I will put a flyer out and you will be getting a discount for your spring look. Okay. And if you have pieces already, let me know and you can just add to your collection because you may have some of these colors. This is the Fanorama that I'm using. And then I'm using the Intense because I love this one. Look at that. Look at all that goodness on there. And that just gives you such a beautiful, beautiful long lash. Look at that. Wow. And I already did put a little powder underneath my eye so I don't have to worry about fallout from my lashes. And some people don't have problems with their lashes. I just, no matter what, I smear it all over. So I found putting just a little translucent powder underneath helps that out. Okay. Then I'm going to go back and put just a tad more of this first color right on that lid. Just right there. Being very careful not to put any right on the liner. Okay. And it needs just a little blending. There you go. So, what do you think? Is that nice and pretty and springy? Let me blend this out a little bit. Okay, so that's all there is to it to have that beautiful spring look. Don't you love that? So I'll go ahead and finish the other eye now. For those of you that are just joining us or joining or coming back over, or you need to finish your other eye if you started with us. So what I have on so far is I started out with the we're using our pink palette. And if you don't already have the pink palette, talk to your consultant, and we still have lots of them out there. And I'm using the warm palette because I have the coral shirt on, and this is the cool palette. And they come, it's this whole big block of all these pinks. Aren't they beautiful? And so I started out with, first I had a light concealer on the first part of the lid and dark concealer on the bottom part. And then I went ahead and did oh dear, where did I set it down? This could be big trouble. Here it is. The rose gold, which is this one right here. And I put rose gold all over right across on the top up here. So rose gold is right here. Okay. And then we're going to go back and we're going to take this second color and we're going to use, that's what I'm going to do next. And we're going to use the smudger brush to put the second color of your pinks on. Okay, here it is. So here we go. So you guys are so quiet this morning. Or, it could be StreamYard too. StreamYard tends to do that. So what this is doing is we're putting that right in the middle. So that rose gold is still peeping out from the sides. This way we're getting this nice, we're just giving it depth because we are doing, it's not glitter, sparkle on sparkle. There we go. And see how that just really brings it out and gives it just a little bit more depth. Okay. And then we're going to go down to the, then we're going to go to the Cinnabar and we're going to take a little bit of Cinnabar and put that in the corner. And we're going to make a little V right there in the corner. I'm going to bring that across. And that gives it just a little more depth. And then I'm going to take my brush and blend that upward and outward. Okay. And I do have a little fallout, so I have a little bit of foundation on this brush left over. There we go. And blend upward and outward. There we go. See how it's already taking shape? Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to get in here with my angle brush, my all over brush, and I am going to take this lightest one, and that we're going to put on the lid. And just out to meet that cinnabar and up to the lid. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit with your let me wipe it off, get it good and clean. With your angle brush, take a little bit of your highlighter or your crystalline or any of your lighter colors. I'm going to pop that right up there, right up under the brow. Or you can also use your glazed or your highlighter color for your cheeks. And I'm going to take that and put it right in here in the corner. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit with, again, the contour or the smudge brush. Wipe that off. I am going to take our contour color. This one is latte. So depending on your skin tone, you may be using cocoa. And I'm going to take that into the crease. And just, this one is a little bit lower than where the sparkles are. This one is right at the edge of, you can kind of feel right there. See how I'm pressing that in right there, right above the eyelid. And that's where you're getting, again, a nice matte to give it more depth. Okay, then I'm going to take my fluffy brush again and brush it up and out. Okay, and do they match? Well, they did. It's easier to do it when you're doing both at the same time, but no, they do. They match pretty good. All right, then I'm going to put a little liner on and my mascara, and then we're good to go. So you guys, isn't that fun? Playing with it's just playing with makeup. You guys, there are no rules. You know, I say this is for 2022. If you want to keep what you were doing in 1980, do it. If that's what makes you feel good, then you just do it. If that's you, you be you. If you like to go with the trends, then go with the trends. If you don't like to, don't. You just need to be you. You need to have fun with it. But the big thing is when you do just a little bit, then see how that just pops, especially in the Northwest where it's still so gray out. I am going to put, while I'm talking, I'm going to get that crease brush again because it's set so nice and tight. And I'm going to get a little bit of that number 2 pink color and put it a little bit underneath the eye here. But it is so gray out and it is just so nasty, drizzly rain. Sometimes you just need to do a little bit to pop the color, to pop the day, to just get a little sunshine. And so that's what we're doing. We're just kind of getting a little bit going here. So then what I did was I had done a little bit of the highlighter down my nose. I did a little bit of the contour on the sides of my nose. And then I mixed your last 2 colors because you do have so much sparkle going on your lids. I did do the 2 last colors, which are both matte in your pinks block. And I use those together as blush. And that's the wonderful thing about the Mary Kay colors is they are all mineral based. And so, and they are all made out of I don't want to say they're made out of the same products, but they are all made out of minerals. So you can use your cheek colors on your eyes and your eyes on your cheeks. So you can mix and match those. And that gives you a really pretty color to put on your cheeks then to give you a nice all over look. Okay, and again, I'm using the Fanorama. And the reason I use the Fanorama is because that really gets all those little itty bitty lashes and pulls them out. And then I'm using the intensity. I'm going to go through the intensity and get any clumps out or any lumps out and just work those a little bit and a little Fanorama on the bottom. There we go. And that is it for the day. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you coming so much. I love you guys. It's so much fun to have you here. And like I said, I will have a flyer out. And looks like I need just a little more cheeks. I will put a flyer out and give you some special prices on these. And again, for the cheeks, if you just take those last two like that, and then I put them on the back of my hand. And that's the thing. Once you're done and you're looking at the overall thing and you go, do I need just a little bit more? And I feel like, yeah, I just need a little teeny bit more right up there. And just a teeny tiny bit more right up there. And I think that should do it. Yeah, that kind of blends it in just a little bit better. So I will have a flyer out with some discounts for you on these beautiful spring colors. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm glad that you always come and see me. And if you come back and see me on the hashtag replay, just put on their hashtag replay. And again, if I didn't answer your question, because this is streaming into several different groups at one time, just put your question in, put your comment in, and I will come back and address it. All right. Mwah. Have a beautiful spring day. Have a beautiful end of March. And I'll see you here next week. And we will be going ahead and doing the 30-second facelift with using different types of concealers to give you just a little bit of a lift. All righty. I will see you then. Thank you so much. Mwah. Later.